Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. It's a great honor today to have with us Glenn Lundy of the 800% Elite Automotive Club, a great friend of the automotive retail community and a great friend of the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Glenn, welcome back to the event.
What's up, man? It's great to be back. It's always amazing to see you. I love having conversations, and it's an honor to be here.
Your career has absolutely skyrocketed. Just when I thought it couldn't get any higher, this last year, Glenn, I've been following you, your travels, private jets. I see Cardone. I see all these things that you're doing. Just amazing stuff. So, congratulations on all the success you are having, my friend.
Oh, well, thank you, Ted. I've got so many great people around me that it's been a really fun year. We're learning a lot, right? We're learning a lot and trying to learn as many things as we can, as fast as we can. Definitely been a really fun season, and I feel like we're starting to get a little bit of momentum. So really excited to see where the team can take it, because I know we are on a mission to serve as many dealers as we can, and especially with the market being the way it is right now, and so it's a great time for a great time.
And so many dealers I've spoken to, I mentioned to you in the green room, have told me about your 800% Automotive Elite Club. What a great time to be sharpening our skills also in automotive. We've gone through, as you used that word, season, quite a season this past 2.5 years with a lot of change. And I think we still have a lot of change yet to come, my friend. A lot of dynamics in the marketplace that we're going to be encountering. Here we got maybe 6 weeks left in the year, and now we're in 2023.
Yeah, can you believe it, Ted? Can you believe we're almost in 2023?
No.
And I think back, right? Whereas as humans, we tend to quickly forget a lot of things. And so I think back and I remember, where we were at in February of 2020. I remember, oh, we should be fine in 3 months. We should be fine in 5 months. Everything will be back to normal. Uh, I remember that whole conversation for the first year and a half. And now here we are going on, we're going on 3 years since that initial, experience. And it's fascinating to me. I will say this, Ted, from what we can see, uh, and the people we've been able to connect with, conversations we've been able to have, and just the data that we've been able to collect. The last 2 years was difficult in a lot of ways outside of our business and outside of our industry.
Mm.
It was difficult and challenging on a personal level, for a lot of people, those types of things. But if we really look at the data, I mean, golly, the car business has never been easier than what it was in the last 2 years. And I do not believe that is going to be the case in the upcoming years. I think that we'll have those personal challenges that we have had, hopefully not at that same level. But on top, I think that there are going to be a lot more business challenges than what we had the previous 2 years.
These past couple years, Glenn, they almost righted the car business and put us back where we needed to be. When you look at all the things we were facing with, bloated inventories and values on cars and, customers who owed a lot more than they were worth. And, you're right. We're coming into some headwinds now. And of course, fixed operations has probably never been stronger. And there's a lot of change coming. You've got EVs coming into the market. You've got connected car, where the car now communicates on its own, right? And there's going to be a lot of updates and perhaps a lot of revenue to be shared on that. And that's going to also affect a lot of the staffing back at the dealership. And so many things in play. Yet the basics will probably be the most important thing. What do you think?
I think that the service departments, the fixed ops side of our industry, I think that they're really going to get their heroes welcome in the upcoming years. The one thing that the EV manufacturers or these outside tech companies or whatever. The one piece they don't have is and can't really have in a fast amount of time is they don't have the real estate that we have. We have a ridiculous amount of real estate when it comes to servicing vehicles. And so you can go direct to consumer on buying a car if you want manufacturers, and you can do all of those things, right? Buy direct from the from Cadillac or Chevy or Nissan or Toyota or whoever wants to go that way. But when it comes to the service side, and we're seeing this, right? We're seeing this with Carvana, we're seeing this with Tesla, we're seeing this already where they're like, oh, okay, great, we can sell cars, but what do you do when they don't work? And I think that the real estate that has been built up in the auto industry over the last 100 years of servicing vehicles since 1922 when Ford first came out with that Model T, that's not something that is duplicatable in a short amount of time. And so I think the unsung heroes of the fixed ops department are about to get their days of glory in the upcoming years.
Yeah, you're right. We've got that real estate, we've got that infrastructure, and we've got the ability to take care of the customer. And it's still comes back, Glenn. It's a people business. You and I are in a people. I mean, we sell cars, we service cars, but it's still a business all about people all the time. And um, you know, God bless the dealers, right? Because we've understood that model from the beginning, and we're so resilient.
Yeah, it's definitely a people game, and it's an evolving people game though. Don't get it twisted, right? We have to evolve with the consumer and be able to meet them where they are with the appropriate technologies and advancements and the speed at which things need to be taken care of. Like we have to make sure that we're cutting edge as far as those things go, but the overall principles don't change, which is there's nothing more valuable than a firm handshake and a big smile and someone feeling seen, heard, and significant as long as we do it in a very fast and technological manner.
Yeah, and we've got that technology. I mentioned Eliza was here earlier in the event,
Such an
and
amazing human.
right, and look at the great strides Carter Meyer has made now in the last year or 2 or 3 years. Look how that has grown, and you're a big part, Glenn, of what they're doing at CMA.
Oh, well, thank you, man. Yeah. Liza and I have become very dear friends over the years. I respect her so much for who she is as a leader and who she is as an operator, what she's done in the industry over the years, what her family has done in the industry over the years. It's incredibly admirable. And so it's really been an honor that Liza has folded me in with her organization. I guess it's been going on 3 years now. We've had the opportunity to work with her entire group that just continues to grow and grow and grow. Every 6 months, it seems she's adding, another group. And now I know she's got over 1,100 associates. And so it's really been awesome to be able to run with her, learn from her, and at the same time, bring my experience that I've got, bring that to the table to help her move lives forward, which is what matters most to Liza Myers Borges.
That's their mantra. So, Glenn, how do we do that going forward with the technology, with great dealers like Liza, keeping this culture and keeping a balance with the technology and addressing the changes. And there's a lot of changes coming on the dealer side. I'm hearing about dealers who are now going to 4-day store-wide work weeks. That all that is now in play, right? We're looking at a better environment for the employee. To give the guest a better experience, the employee has to have as good, if not better, an experience.
No doubt. And it's more important now than ever. I'm seeing it all over the place. Or, sorry, I'm seeing it all over the place. There are people leaving very, very high paying jobs, positions that they've been in, positions that they're really good at. But they're leaving because they're missing the passion and the fire of being a part of something bigger than themselves. The next generation is really special. Ted. Like they're a really special generation, and they have seen um, guys like you and I, and they've seen, you know, our parents, and they've seen a society that was really driven by exchanging time for money. That was the deal, right? You exchanged time for money. You went to work at whatever time in the morning, you came home at whatever time in the evening, and you did that for 25 years or whatever it is. And in the end, you get your pension and your little retirement from the government or whatever. And so they've seen that, and they've also seen how that works out in the end.
Mm.
And they're starting to see, like, oh, wait a minute, that I don't want to be worried about regrets, and I don't want to be worried about finances when I'm 70 years old, right? And so they're starting to really see that, I think. And so they're demanding a different experience. And I think they have every right to do so. And so it's been fun. I love the next generation. The generation after them is even great as well. And I'm learning every day as we're building our company here. We're building with that in mind. How can I attract top talent from the next generation and the generation beyond? And so my employees, we've got a team of we're up to 12 people now, and
Oh.
they're not the highest paid people in the world, like by any, like not even close to what they could get paid in different situations. But we focus on results, not how we get there. And so they have flexibility. They're taking their kids to school. They're picking their kids up after school. They're, um, they're working in. Every one of my employees has a different schedule.
Hmm.
Every single one of them. Some
Hmm.
come in earlier, leave earlier. Some come in later, leave later. Ultimately, it's just results driven, and so I think that's the world that we're in right now. Is we have to get really creative. When I was young, kick me in the teeth and give me a check, and I was good. Right? You kick me in the teeth every day. I'll work 90 hours a week, and you give me a check, and that was awesome. That's how I did it. But that's not what the generations behind us are into. We have to make sure we're staying ahead of the curve. You mentioned, how do we blend in that technology, and still tie into that piece. And
Okay.
I think, Ted, it's the answer to that is we have to get very, very clear on what it is we do best, what it is we do best that we're really passionate about, that makes economic sense. And once we get real clear on what it is that we do best, that we're passionate about, that makes economic sense, we focus specifically on that and allow technology to evolve within that realm. What I see a lot of companies do that I feel is a mistake is, instead of saying, this is what we do best that we're passionate about, that makes economic sense, how do we continue to evolve it? Instead, they're going, well, let's try this over here. And maybe let's try this over here. And what about this piece over here? And then so and so is doing that. So maybe we should try that. And well, they're doing this. So now let's try this. And then when it doesn't work, they're jumping around, right? There's a story of the fox and the hedgehog. Ed, I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but the fox wants to get the hedgehog, wants to eat the hedgehog. And so the fox is constantly coming up with different schemes, like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. The fox is constantly coming up with different schemes every single day, a different strategy with different technology on how he's going to catch the hedgehog. And every day the hedgehog comes down the same path. He sees the fox. What does the hedgehog do? Curls into a ball, puts his spikes out, and no matter how the fox attacks, he can't ever get to the hedgehog, because the hedgehog knows exactly what it does best, that it's passionate about its ability, right? And it just makes sense. And so I feel like we need less foxes and more hedgehogs. Evolve the armor on your hedgehog. Make sure it's sharp. Make sure your blades are sharp. But ultimately, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's too many organizations out there that are trying to completely reinvent the wheel. They're getting away from the principles that make us strong and have for 100 years.
Tell us a little bit about 800% Elite Automotive Club. Tell us what you're doing there and how that works.
Yeah, so 800% Elite Autos has been a lot of fun, Ted. what we've discovered is most dealerships are just 2 or 3 tweaks away, right? 2 or 3 tweaks away from being able to grow 25, 40, 50, 70%, in 90 days is really what we've found. And so what we do with 800% Club is we combine a tremendous dealer network of independent dealers, franchise dealers, large dealers, small dealers, big groups, and single points, all different franchise, foreign and domestic. We bring them all together and we utilize a sequence of virtual experiences, live one-on-ones, group trainings, and retreats, in-person retreats. And we utilize all of those, including and also our partnerships that we have with OEMs and brand partners. And we take all of that information, all that data, and all of that fun, right? All that fun stuff, and we pull it all together and we help each other create roadmaps that keep us 6, 8, 10 months ahead of all the changes that are happening in our industry. And so it's a combination. We call it edutainment. We have a really good time while we're learning, and we do it together, and we're really just leveraging everybody's wisdom on a nationwide scale. So it's been super cool. Ted, we're serving we've got 145 rooftops now, which is just
Wow. Wow.
incredible.
Wow.
90 or so individual owners and GMs. It's a lot of fun. It works. It's simple. And I think the best part is we've been able to create a space where owners and GMs who sometimes feel like it's like they're in this game alone, they're having to figure it all out on their own. We bring them into a space together so that they know, hey, there's other people here that are like, yeah, me too, and let's figure this out together. So it's been special.
Glenn, congratulations to you on what you're doing. If our audience wants to reach out, I see there's a web address down below, 800
Yep,
Elite.
800eliteauto.com. Yep, come check it out, man. Be glad to hear from you.
Hey, Glenn, I want to wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for everything that you do for automotive retail. Your talent is greatly needed and appreciated, and highly respected as well, Glenn Lundy.
Oh, thank you, Ted. I appreciate you, sir.
Glenn Lundy, everybody, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.